I'll get to where we were before.
All right.
I got back to where we were before. You ready?
All right. So we're just gonna say thank you and not confess to Papyrus.
You hug Papyrus, thanking him for all the help he gave you. You humans grow up so fast. Now go, show the world what you've got. I'm sure you will be amazing. Yo, what's up? You freeze, nearly falling on your knees from the shock. He looks like Papyrus is nearly as shocked as you are. He clears his throat. Sans brother, there's something the human would like to tell you.
I thought it was gonna be exactly the same for a second.
I thought that for a second too. He nudges you forward like a mom bragging about her child. I
think these are all the same.
That was not what we practiced. But don't worry, that's what I'm here for. Sans, the human likes you very much. They have a huge crush on you, brother. They wanted to tell you themselves, but their huge crush didn't let them. So now I'm telling you, they want to go on a date with you. This is it. This is how you die. All right. And don't you dare say no. They already know you like to bat.
Papyrus, consent is important. Please.
At least you won't die by yourself. Now, if I may, my job here is done. And with that, he flees out of the door and leaves you two alone. Whoa. So, yeah. Guess that settles things up. So, are we dating now? What's up?
They're kind of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's do the bottom one.
Mm-hmm. Not right now, but soon. What is that supposed to mean? I hope. No, I'm saying that you hope that too. We should really thank Babs. You should. You just got rejected. That was pretty much it for the evening in terms of relationship development. But hey, you'd say you've gotten pretty far. You two agreed to give it a try. If it doesn't work out, you could always go back to being friends. But you secretly really hoped it will work out. Papyrus too hoped it will work out, but he was not too discreet about it. When you went back to the living room, you found Papyrus was already celebrating your engagement and planning your wedding.
It's canon at the bottom left.
You will either end up breaking up or living together forever, and I sure hope it's the latter, he said when trying to make him tone it down a notch.
What?
Like the second option.
Oh.
You weren't really sure you liked the reminding of the two options, but you appreciated the enthusiasm. He said it was already a lot of work to help you get together. The dating planning had to wait. You just settled with continuing watching that movie.
I like how Papyrus is supposedly covering up our name, which means it's probably like 2 characters long.
Yeah, if our name was not as long as Sans, which is 4 letters.
Or maybe it's like Faker Schmangled, like really small text.
Maybe he added 2 blank and Sans, and then he just scribbled in Faker Schmangled. You watched 10 more minutes before Papyrus remembered the mess he did in the kitchen. You and Sans exchanged egg puns the entire time. How romantic. Ending. Matchmaker.
I think that's the most romantic ending.
Yeah, now we're actually gonna make the crepes with Papyrus.
We definitely need to get the Papyrus ending.
Yeah.
Wow, you're great at speedrunning Undertale Dating.
Don't worry, Pap. Let's make crepes. Alrighty then. If you say you're okay at it, it means you're okay. I wonder if hiding your stress has been a good idea. But again, it's probably just a silly paranoia of yours. No, well, you'll just concentrate on having a good time in Papyrus's company. And on not letting him burn down the kitchen in the meanwhile. Let's make whatever this is. So the first thing to do is... Actually, I don't know the first thing to do. You don't either, but how hard could it be?
Oh my God.
Very hard, but you try not to think about all the ways this could go horribly wrong. You see, this is a new recipe for me, so... Just for this once, you'll have the luck to have me, the great Papyrus, as your co-chef. Oh God, you hoped the situation didn't just get 10 times worse. You were Papyrus at the command. You weren't sure what you feared the most. You needed flour and milk, too, that you were sure of.
Okay, at least they're
we have those. I've heard from the TV milk helps with bones, so I always buy some extra boxes. He opens a drawer near you, and it's completely filled with boxes of milk.
They keep milk in the drawer?
I guess. Like Canadians keep it in a bag. I keep it here, next to near my extra bones. He opens the next drawer, and it's completely filled with bones. Some are even wrapped with a bow. Both drawers terrified you, so you just picked up a box of milk while Paps took the flour. The bones could stay there. You didn't need them. Okay, so I should start breaking the eggs then. I don't trust him with the eggs, so I was saying we should probably break it.
He had a traumatic experience, so probably has PTSD from that.
Yeah. Of course, human. After you. I will never deprive you of your favorite task. You hardly love the sticky goo on your fingers, but if this prevented Papyrus to just smash the eggs on the counter, so be it. See, we're thinking. You impeccably crack all the eggs open. Let's go.
Are you cracking them on your hand? How are you you're getting it all over you?
I guess opening up with your fingers.
Okay, it's an interesting way to do it.
Such a graceful method. Graceful, yet still extremely efficient method. I am impressed. You just hope the rest of the cooking will go this smoothly. Okay, now we have to put in the milk, I think. And of course, I think right. Now on to the next one. If Instagram flash cooking videos taught you something, is that that wet ingredients go with other wet ingredients. So let's brink on the milk.
Let's brink on the milk.
Yeah. It needs some milk or pour the milk in, Pap. Again, I don't trust.
I guess I
don't trust this milk. Yeah. He brings the box on top of the bowl, and with rapid motion, he rips the lower half off so that the entire half a liter of milk ends up in the mix. As much as you were impressed, that was definitely too much milk. You were pretty sure some pieces of cardboard had ended up there too. But there wasn't really anything you could do, just might as well roll with it. As he gets rid of the box like a serial killer gets rid of the evidence, he gives you a thumbs up. You're just not in agreement. You handle the flour a pudding while a confused Papyrus asked how you managed to not make flour fly over the place.
The flour
that
pudding?
Could have, I guess, could have been worse, but no, now comes the real challenge. Don't worry, human, I'll mix. I am quite the champion at mixing. I only broke 2 spoons while mixing. Which was 2 more than an acceptable amount of spoons broken while mixing. You mentally crossed your fingers. Mix slow.
Mix slow.
Slow.
We're experts.
I've actually made crepes before. Little known fact.
I've watched someone else make them.
This is what the recipe says. Tell him the recipe requires an absolutely cynic level of slowness. A tad faster, and the mixture could be irreparably damaged.
I can't believe they spelled
I would never
that right.
damage a mixture. Yeah, that was impressive. I started a mix so slow, shuffling the bowl from side to side would have done a better job. Sure, you still had an uninviting and mostly liquid blob, or could still be distinguished, could still distinguish chunks of flour in there. But anyway, it was a better alternative than having to scrape the dough from any surface of the kitchen. Now for the fun part, actually cooking with actual fire. You anxiously stare at the stove, silently praying to not burn down the entire house. Papyrus seems to sense your worry. Don't worry, human, I got this. Does not help when he turns up the flame at the higher possible temperature, and it's definitely not good for your heart rate when Papyrus, bless his soul, firmly grabs the pan. He's cooking. You pour part of the mixture into a nice circle on the hot surface. A little shuffling later, and he puts an arm in front of you as if it was protecting you. I'm gonna flip it. You might want to stay back. Stay back.
Or tell him not to flip it.
Which one? Do we stay back or we tell him not to flip it?
If we want to stay safe, we tell him not to flip it.
Oh, this recipe does not require me to flip? How convenient. How convenient. How convenient indeed. Having hot burning cooking mixture all over your hair is not something you find appealing. You just put on the pan back on, hoping it would be enough for both sides to cook. Your hopes and prayers were met with indifference as all the almost pancake, because they were too thick to be crepes, turned out with one side completely burned and one side completely raw. If you did your math correctly, that should count the same as one pancake with both sides moderately cooked. Math really isn't your forte.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the crepes and pancake hybrids are all stocked up on the plate. Time to dig in. Your hand is already grabbing one, but Pap stop you. Wait! We will be blinded by the hard work we put in by making these. We will never truly know their quality if we taste them. I suggest we make someone else taste it. Not really buying it, but you are on board with a master's
yeah.
style taste challenge. Sans! You can't even finish your thoughts, but that was the most unholy screech. Finish your thoughts that the most unholy screech comes out of Papyrus's mouth. He will get here, eventually. We had a good quarter before he peeked into the kitchen.
Quarter?
I don't know, man. So, wowee, that was quick. For sand standards, you're sure that was light speed. Papyrus doesn't waste time and pushes the plate in front of his brother. Try this for us, please. Not that we need you to try it. We already know it's great, but confirming it won't hurt anyone. If you say so, Pep. Takes like a piece of the first crepe, put it in his mouth. You're not sure how. It just kind of ends up there. Looks at Papyrus, and then at you, and then at Papyrus again. It's great, isn't it? Sure it is. Sure it is, Pep. He was good at hiding it, but you could clearly see the pain on his face. You were glad you didn't taste it. I had no doubt about it. So good. Just as expected. So good I could never eat it by myself. Of course, something this good should never be kept from the others. That would be selfish. Very selfish. But that's not a problem, as I, the great temporarily co-chef Papyrus, had a great idea. Takes the plate and shoves it into the freezer. So they'll be good when our friends come to visit. Sounds great, Pep. Let's just order pizza for now.
What?
You spent a nice evening nonetheless. You weren't sure that someone would have delivered you pizza at 2 a.m, but eventually an orange cat monster was at the door with...
This changes everything.
You tipped the poor guy well. The pizza was good, but deep in your heart, you will always wonder what went wrong with those grapes. Probably because you didn't flip them.
No.
That was probably it.
Also, we put half a gallon of milk in there?
A liter of milk, yeah. Now you just enjoy the good food and the good company. Ending. When in doubt, pizza is the answer. What else can we do?
Maybe we let Papyrus do everything. We'll see how that goes. Maybe that we can romance it after.
All right. Sure, Pep, do your best. I will.
All right.
I learned from the best, after all. You carefully aim at the bowl, and one by one throws all the eggs in there, smashing them. You didn't know what you expected, but you were at least grateful he centered the bowl. How did I go? Give him a thumbs up and later try to remove some eggshells while he's not looking, but there's only so much you can do. Okay, now we have to put in the milk, I think. And then, of course, I think right. Something about Instagram. Let's drink on the milk.
Of course.
Pour the milk in, Pep. Pouring? Take a pair of scissors and snip a corner of the box. He just looks at you for a second, jaw hanging from his skull. That's so much more convenient. Yeah, you were legitimately afraid to know what would have been the other option. You managed to pour a moderate amount of milk. Good. Into the flour pudding. While they confused Papyrus asked how you managed to not make flour.
What does that mean?
I don't know, man. I'm so jaded at this point. That could have been worse, but oh well. Here comes the real challenge. Don't worry, human. I'll mix. And broke 2 spoons while mixing. Blah, 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 blah. Mix fast. As soon as he heard your words, he looked like a new skeleton, a tiny yet powerful light shining in his eye sockets. He looked about to fulfill a prophecy and, with this one action, gave meaning to his life. I will! Yeah! He mixed and mixed at the rhythm of his laughter, the mixture dangerously rising, threatening to jump out of the bowl at any moment.
No.
But much to your surprise, only a few drops went out, and the rest became fluffy and soft. You have to admit, he did it better than an electric mixer. Mixing is my specialty, after all. And now the fun part. Actually cooking. We're going to flip it. Stay back. You'll gladly stay back. The idea of a burning hot something in your face was not so appealing. Take coverage behind a chair. 1, 2, 3. I'm flipping it. From your strategic position, you watch the almost pancake, because it was too thick to be a crepe, gracefully twirl midair. You watch it fly above Papyrus's head. You wait for it to come down. It doesn't come down. You look up and see it stuck on the ceiling. I think I need a refill. You welp, in for a penny, in for a pound. Might as well wrap the whole ceiling with pastry deliciousness. That was just a warm-up. You pour more mixture and quickly take cover again. Lord knows where this one might fall. But under your astonished gaze, not one of the crepes fall into a place that isn't the pan. At some point, you get up and give him a deserved applause. Thank you, human. I know I'm the best. You smile at him while your hands keep clapping. Well, the crepes and pancake hybrids were all stacked up on the plate. Time to dig in. And grab some.
Okay. Maybe it's like we have to make it right, and then it'll taste good.
Yeah.
I see.
We are the ones who have to put in the eggs, and then we let Papyrus do everything else.
I guess, yeah.
I was hoping I could break them. Blah, 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 blah. Pour the milk in. Blah, 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 blah. Mixed fast. Blah, 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 blah. Stay back. Blah, 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 blah. Sands. All right, if you say so, Pep. Looks Papyrus at you, and then Papyrus again. It's great, isn't it? Sans looks genuinely surprised.
Oh, let's go.
It is. Pap, this is great. Yeah, I wouldn't expect less from the great Papyrus and his co-chef. Oh, so now you were the co-chef. He looked too pleased with himself for you to ruin the moment. Found a really great co-chef, Pep. You weren't sure, but Sans looked relieved, grateful even. I did. They should give me a hand more often. Yeah, they really should. Poor Sans, it must have been years since something good came out of this kitchen. No wonders the fridge was full of ketchup. He probably used it to hide the taste of either burnt or raw food. Or rotten eggs. Papyrus really needed to learn more about those. Absolutely. I will call you to cook with me. Again, human. Actually. What the heck?
That? Self-voicing?
Oh no, you could hear the gears grinding inside his skull. Why, wait, you here. Stopping us from cooking again right now. Maybe the fact that it's late at night, you should have nothing to cook with? Sounds great, Pep. No, it doesn't. Of course it does. Come on, human, we have some cooking to do. I would go buy groceries, but who needs fine pasta anyway? We're great cooks. We can make wonders with 2 lemons and a pickle. And just so happens I have 2 lemons and a pickle right here. The night is young and full of possibilities. We can't waste it by napping. No way. Napping all night is for the weaks. And we are not weak. We are chefs. While Papyrus was shouting pep talks, Sans fled away with the entire plate of almost pancakes. Well, looks like you could either A, run after Sans to take back your dinner, or B, make another dinner with Papyrus, or C, eat the pancake that decided to come down from the ceiling and fell onto Papyrus's skull. Wow-wee! He takes a taste of it. Great indeed. Of course, there was always option D, collapsing on the floor because you couldn't possibly handle the amount of stress that was cooking with this skeleton a second time in a row. And you looked at him, and he looked so happy to cook with you again. This was going to be a long night. And a long night was indeed. It was fun to be around Papyrus, and you loved him very much, but you questioned his and your sanity many times that day. Like when he was going to blend an egg after smashing it into a bowl to smooth out the shell pieces. Or when to melt butter, he put the entire package into the microwave. Luckily, it was just paper, but it was really difficult to open the package after all the butter inside became a mush. Or again, when he tried to whip the cream with his belt. It's not how you spell whip. He said that's how his friend did it, and that was enough for you to not ask any more questions. You weren't really a master at cooking, but something told you could teach Papyrus a couple of things, so you agreed for both his and everyone's sake to come help him from time to time. You passed out, face nearly inside the flour bowl, while trying to measure the milk. Needless to say, the milk fell down as well.
We died? The end.
Yeah. You wake up the morning after on couch padded between pillows and fluffy blankets. Papyrus made you crepes for breakfast to apologize for keeping you up so late. You were just glad he learned something. You couldn't stay mad at him anyway. Ending, next time, just make some instant noodles.
We did it.
Whew. Now we gotta wake up Sans.
Yeah. What could possibly happen when we wake up Sans?
You gently pat and scroll his arm, whispering his name. No response. If anything, he seems to snore louder. Well, okay, you didn't try very hard. Then you try to tug his sleeve, pulling it towards you, hoping foolishly that it would be enough. Too bad he took that as an invite to get comfier, and then apparently his idea of comfort was using your shoulders as it was a pillow. And then just like that arm you bother now holding yours like a stuffed animal, and his skull pressing against the base of your neck. Shoot. Oh, wait, we already did this part. What if we're cold now?
That'll definitely change it, I think.
Cold, then we see white. You feel a gelid cold slithering into your skin, wrapping around your bones. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. But you don't mind. As you get used to it and the sensations of your body, your eyes start reacquiring sight. What do you see? What? You put on
gelid
warm. Your boots squash down the snow, leaving a clear trail of footprints in the pristine white landscapes. You just keep walking and walking, passing trees and little houses until you stop in front of a place that looked warm. You open the door and find yourself in a weird ball. It's just the same place.
Jellied.
What?
Jellied. That's how it's pronounced?
Jellied? What is it?
And it means icy, extremely cold.
Oh. And it's just...
Is the same?
Yeah.
All those stupid choices. Wait, where are the choices to the new endings? What could it possibly be?
Because we could not go outside is what I'm thinking.
Oh.